monotony, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Hello, this is Rosemary, and for the next hour, I'll be reading from the, where is it? Oh, sorry. I think I better start this over. There we go. I'll be reading from the May 15th issue of the Niagara County, Grand Island Tribune Sentinel Dispatch. Smelt Fest popularity continues to grow. The Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines smelt as a small, bony fish that closely resembles a trout in general structure, but lives along close coasts and descends rivers to spawn, with a delicate, oily flesh and a distinctive odor and taste. Here in Lewiston, smelt means the start of the summer festival season. And I have to go to page 11. We'll get there. Eight, sorry, 9, 10, oh, I see, 11, that's not right. Nope. Okay, we'll go back to 1. Sorry for the delay, folks. I'm not real good on this machine. Okay. We'll try and continue the smelt story in a minute. Here's page 1. Okay. Well, it says 11. Okay, new town of Niagara PD therapy dog gets new lease on life. A chocolate Labrador named Coco has found a second chapter in life after being adopted by Town of Police Clerk Miranda McQuillan. Coco will serve as a therapy dog for the police department. Coco was found without a collar in late April on Lockport Road by Rick Salisbury, the North Tonawanda dog control officer. Salisbury dropped her off at, hold on, oh, look at that. Wait a minute. Sorry, baby, sorry. Okay, we're going to switch here because I'm having trouble finding the page. Destination Niagara salutes local ambassadors during National Travel and Tourism Week. Distinction Niagara, USA recognized frontline excellence through the 4th annual DNUSA Tourism Employee Spotlight Awards. 7 individuals from across Niagara County's tourism and hospitality sectors were honored after being nominated by peers and supervisors for consistently going above and beyond in their roles. And you have people pictured. Destination Niagara, USA joined communities across the country in celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week, recognizing the vital role tourism plays in driving economic growth and creating jobs and enhancing quality of life in Niagara County. The tourism remains one of the most important industries in Niagara County, generating more than $1 billion in annual visitor spending and supporting businesses and workers throughout the region. In recognition of this impact, Destination Niagara, USA has organized a week of activities to celebrate the people, places, and partnerships that make the destination thrive. Throughout the week, visitors to the official Niagara Falls, USA Visitor Center, located at 10 Rainbow Boulevard, enjoyed special partner giveaways. Destination Niagara, USA also recognized Global Meetings Industry Day on Wednesday, celebrating the significant impact meetings, conventions, and group travel have on the local economy. In 2025, Destination Niagara, USA's convention sales team played a key role in booking 28 events, generating 14,362 room nights and an estimated economic impact of more than $9 million for Niagara County. Tourism is a powerful economic engine for Niagara County, supporting local businesses, creating jobs, and generating opportunities for residents across our community, said John Percy, President and CEO of Destination Niagara, USA. National Travel and Tourism Week is an opportunity to celebrate the people who deliver memorable experiences every day, while also recognizing our responsibility to care for and enhance the place we call home. We are especially excited for what lies ahead in 2026 with the America 250 and the additional international attention generated by nearby FIFA World Cup 2026 matches, creating tremendous momentum for Niagara Falls, USA. For more information on Destination USA, Niagara, USA, and upcoming events in Niagara County, visit www.niagarafallsusa.com. The mission of Destination Niagara, USA is to expand the economic prosperity of Niagara Falls, USA communities by generating individual and group visitation. For more information, visit www.niagarafallsusa.com. Okay, very nice. Smelt Festival returns May 22nd. We'll continue that article. The Upward Niagara Chamber Community of Congress will host the 2026 Smelt Festival on May 22nd, officially kicking off this year's warm weather, family family-friendly event slate. It's at 6 p.m. At the Griffin Gastropub and Brewery in Lewiston. The Smelt Festival has really become the unofficial kickoff to festival season in Lewiston, Upward Niagara Chamber President Amanda Hasley said. These events are incredibly important to our small town economy because so much of our community relies on tourism and visitors throughout the season. What makes this event so special is that it brings together both locals and tourists in a way that feels uniquely Lewiston. Even last year, with cold temperatures and snow mixed with rain, we still welcomed more than 500 people. I'll never forget meeting someone last year who drove all the way from Ohio just to attend the Smelt Festival. That really shows how much excitement and curiosity this event generates beyond Western New York. This year's Smelt will be supplied through Tony's Seafood and Warren, Rhode Island, one of the East Coast's largest smelt distributors. Earlier this year, Mark Pire of Tony's Seafood contacted the Chamber of Commerce after having discovered the Lewiston Smelt Festival online. Having spent his life in the smelt business, Pire said he had never heard of an entire festival dedicated to smelt. He jokingly referred to himself as the Smelt King of Rhode Island. Once again, Anthony Domino of Domino's Lewiston Tops will donate the smelt for the festival, while the Griffin Gastropub and Brewery will prepare and fry the fish on site. The Chamber of Commerce will sell smelt boat tickets for $5 each. In addition to the smelt offerings, the Griffin will have its full food and bar menus available throughout the evening. Live music will be prepared by 7th Assigned beginning at 6 p.m. on the patio. Festival favorites returning this year include the Niagara River Anglers 50-50 split raffle and the popular smelt eating competition. The reigning smelt eating champion is none other than Shabetta, who took home the 2026 trophy, and if the weather cooperates, guests may even see a few of the charter captain's boats on display. Additional sponsors for this year's festival include Mount St. Mary's Hospital, which will have a team at the event to interact with guests, and the Niagara Falls Bridge Commission. Note that while the smelt served at the festival are not sourced from the Niagara River, the event will celebrate the long-standing regional fishing heritage and waterfront culture associated with the Niagara River. Very nice. Okay. Niagara County debuts a fishing contest aimed at business professionals. Wednesday, the Niagara County Center for Economic Development launched the inaugural Niagara County Corporate Fishing Challenge, a new initiative focused on engaging business professionals, showing the region's world-class fishing opportunities, and supporting a local charitable organization. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The challenge, this is to do with the fishing contest. The challenge is officially underway and will run through Labor Day. It is open to any business professional fishing in Niagara County this season. To take part, participants will upload their best fishing photos to www.pollniagara.com unit.com/polls/ncfish and direct friends, family members, co-workers, and clients to the site to vote for their entries. To vote, people just need to enter their name and address, email address. Voting will take place through Labor Day. The winner will receive a trophy, and more importantly, a $1,000 donation will be made in the winner's name to Catching Dream Charters, a non-for-profit that provides free fishing adventures for children and young adults battling cancer. Catching Dreams specializes in providing fishing therapy to patients during and after treatments. We hope the friendly competition of the Fishing Challenge underscores the fact that Niagara County, from Lake Ontario to the Niagara River, offers some of the finest fishing opportunities anywhere, said Captain Frank Campbell, Niagara County Sports Fishing and Outdoor Promotions Coordinator. And in the course of highlighting our fishing industry, we can raise awareness and support for the great work done by Catching Dream Charters. To help engage the business community, Campbell said local charter captains will be promoting the challenge to those on fishing excursions. Local charter captains have historically hosted a significant number of both local and out-of-town business professionals on fishing charters. I want to thank Frank Campbell and all of our charter boat captains for their efforts to promote our area as a destination for great fishing, and do so in a fun and unique way. Niagara County Legislator Dave Godfrey said supporting Catching Dream Charters as a part of the Fishing Challenge makes it all the more special. Follow the progress of the Corporate Fishing Challenge on Facebook at https://www.facebook.com/Niagara County Fishing Challenge. Let's see where we're going here. I'm sorry, this has gotten all... Why is it doing this? Okay, I think we're back. Okay, Grand Island splash pad contract put on hold. The Grand Island Board on Monday voted to pause the town's contract to build a splash pad in Veterans Park due to concerns over a lack of funding. Supervisor Peter Marston was excused from attendance at the afternoon workshop. The four council members present voted to suspend the contract for a week until Monday's next town board meetings. Now we want to go to page 4. Marston did not respond to the Island Dispatch's request for comment before press time. Council member Dan Kilmer made a motion to put the purchase order on hold. I think we should put at the minimum a pause on the order until this board makes a decision on the way forward, Kilmer said in a discussion leading up to the vote. He said his concern was that the town okayed the purchase without town board's approval. If we were in the loop every step of the way, we would have said no 6 months ago, or we'd have said proceed forward. Kilmer later added, this does not mean a splash pad's dead. It means it goes on the shelf and we start looking for grants and ways to finish financing it. Council member Jose Garcia seconded Kilmer's motion, saying, put it on pause, find out where they're at, find out if it's scalable. Garcia had suggested earlier that costs might be reduced by installing a smaller, scaled-down splash pad. A contract for the splash pad is with Vortex Aquatic Structures International, Inc. The funding for the pad was designed as part of a $1.1 million grant awarded to the Miracle League, whose ball field and nearby playground are on town property. The grant was awarded to the town by Erie County through the American Rescue Plan Act to counteract the negative economic effect of COVID. The remaining funds need to be used before December 31st, 2026, the town's chief accountant, Corinne France, told council members. The town has an additional $220,000 for the project from a bond resolution that was approved August 5th, 2024. The bonding was sought in case the grant funds were inadequate to cover splash pad expenses. The Miracle League used the first part of the grant to make improvements to the adaptive ball field and playground it operates in Veterans Park. That work is completed. About $477,000 is left in the grant for the basic splash pad, whose cost is now calculated at $708,000, said Council Member Rhonda Deal. An additional $74,594 would be incurred to make the splash pad operable, adding water, wastewater, and electricity, which would increase the cost to $782,594. If you apply the available funds of $697,000 from the remaining grant funds and the bond toward the cost of $782,594, the shortfall is $85,594. That gives us a usable, nice-looking splash pad, Deal said. She added, in the Parks Trust Fund, we have $175,000 something, not a big number, so we can pull that $85,000 out of there to cover that cost. Marston had itemized additional potential expenditures for the splash pad in his presentation to the board on May 4th. And these are not included in the numbers Deal presented on May 11th. They include the additional perimeter concrete over and above what the vendor will provide, $170,000. Sidewalks compliant to accessibility regulations, $170,000. Fencing, $41,000. Deal said she hoped that there is credibility to the word of a possible donor who could pick up these additional expenditures and complete the whole project. My concern is that this has been 2 months and we know nothing about it, she said. and then to find out about it, it's a little concerning to me that maybe we know about it now because the donor might not be solid. Degatti said the Miracle League would be the entity to follow up on enlisting a donor to help fund the project. Council members also said they wanted to know about the operational insurance costs and the possible need for additional employees. I'd like to know those answers before being ready to vote on spending anything, Garcia said. He also said, this was way before my time, serving on the town board, that is, but did these people ever make a presentation or explain what the splash pad was? Degatti answered, that vendor is on state contract, so that's why this never went to bid and never was able to be done. Kilmer said that even though it was a state contract, you'd have to take it back to the board. Garcia said, the fact that we can make this work does not cure my ire. This one's caught because it's a massive issue, right? How many things are happening that we don't know about? That's the lack of confidence that I now have in how things operate here. Kilmer said he would contact the vendor for an update before the May 18th workshop and regular town board meeting. On to entertainment. A great night out. Art Park to welcome legendary Who icon Sir Roger Daltrey. Daltrey announces 2026 U.S. tour, a great night out, end of summer 20-city tour to showcase Hall of Famers rockers' captivating solo work, Who classics and surprises. A press release from Art Park and Company. They announced legendary performer Sir Roger Daltrey will bring his A Great Night Out tour to the Art Park Main Stage Theater in Lewiston at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 17th. Rock legend Daltrey announced a run of U.S. solo tours celebrating his return 2 years after his widely praised semi-acoustic 2024 summer outing, and well rested from the acclaimed Who farewell tour that critics hailed as the powerful nod to the rock canon. The most anticipated solo trek has been dubbed A Great Night Out. The recently knighted rock stalwart will be backed by the same musical lineup he performed with on his 2024 tour, featuring a hand-picked ensemble of musicians: Simon Townsend on guitar, Billy Nichols on mandolin, Jody Linscott on percussion, Doug Bowl on guitar, John Hogue on bass, Katie Jacoby on violin, Steve Weston harmonica, Geraint Watkins keyboards and accordion, and Scott DeVore's drums. The 2026 dates will spotlight Daltrey's unmistakable voice and deep catalog, blending iconic selections from his remarkable solo material, reimagined cover songs, and Who rarities. Daltrey will be building on the momentum of his 2024 performances, which were widely celebrated for their acoustic intimacy, storytelling, and enduring vocal presence, with Daltrey also offering up renditions of songs seldom performed live by him or The Who. The 2024 tour drew raves, with USA Today commenting, "Put Roger Daltrey on a stage and he's going to rock," and Forbes calling attention to the casual interplay of songs and stories delivered by a relaxed and funny Daltrey, witty, charming, and engaging, an absolute masterclass. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. To continue, the upcoming shows promise another fresh, revealing glimpse of the charismatic singer with more banter and straight shooting rapport as he continues to reign as one of rock's most commanding live performers. This past December, Daltrey was honored with a knighthood by the Prince of Wales at Windsor Castle for his contribution to charity and music. Daltrey launched and curated the Teenage Cancer Trust Concerts initiative at the Royal Albert Hall, which has raised millions for the charity over the past 25 years. Fans will have access to pre-sale tickets with password Great Night beginning at 10 a.m. Wednesday, May 13th. A public on sale starts at 10 a.m. Friday, May 15th. For complete details, visit https://www.thewho.com. The tour will also offer a variety of VIP packages and experiences for fans who take their concert experience to the next level. The Lewiston performance is presented by Art Park. Art Park tickets will be available for purchase online at Ticketmaster.com and artpark.net. By phone from the Art Park box office at 716-754-4375 or in person at the Art Park box office, 450 South 4th Street, in-person sales are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. More about Roger Daltrey. Inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with The Who in 1990, Daltrey received a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammy Foundation along with the band in 2001. Daltrey and The Who co-founder Pete Townsend received Kennedy Center honors in 2008. Considered to have one of the most recognizable singing voices of all time, Planet Rock listeners voted Daltrey rock's 5th greatest voice in music history. He also received stellar reviews for his unique 2018 autobiography called Thanks a Lot, Mr. Kibblewhite. Known for his magnetic presence and rebellious creative spirit, Daltrey has also been an actor, film producer with multiple roles in films, theater, and television. He's released 10 solo studio albums, including the acclaimed discs Daltrey, Ride a Rock Horse, One of the Boys, and the 2018 release As Long as I Have You, and such hit singles as I'm Free, Going It All Away, Without Your Love, Free Me, After the Fire. Daltrey's solo work has been compiled into 2 anthologies, Martyrs and Madmen, 1997, and Moonlighting, 2005. Queen Elizabeth awarded him a CBE for his service to music and charity in 2004. Old Fort Niagara celebrates 300 years of military history. This Memorial Day weekend, Old Fort Niagara will highlight 300 years of military history with special exhibits and programs tracing military life from the 17th century through modern times. The event, scheduled for Saturday and Sunday, May 23rd and 24th, will begin with a salute to the colors of three nations, the three nations that garrisoned the fort over the years: the U.S., Great Britain, and France. This will be followed at 11 a.m. by cocked hats to Kevlar, military dress through the ages. At noon, military artillery pieces from the 18th through the 20th century will fire a cannonade with a complete explanation of how each leap in technology affected battlefield tactics. This demonstration will be followed at 12:30 by a guided tour of Fort Niagara's Civil War era underground casemate areas not usually open to the public. At 11 p.m., visitors will go back in time to the 18th century, when military music played a significant role in military camps and on the battlefield. The site's regimental field music will perform both duty calls and popular tunes from the French and Indian War, American Revolution, and the War of 1812. The French commander, Napoleon Bonaparte, reputedly said, "An army travels on its stomach." Fort Niagara's 1:30 p.m. program traces the development of military rations over 3 centuries, from pea soup and hardtack to MREs. Volunteers will demonstrate the evolution of soldiers' food in war and peace. At 2 p.m., reenactors will demonstrate 3 centuries of military small arms technology as Fort Niagara presents matchlocks to MI6s, a firing demonstration that chronicles arms development and how it influenced battlefield tactics. At 3:30 p.m., visitors will get a closer look at firing a flintlock musket, the technology that was in use 250 years ago during the American Revolution. Each day concludes with a leap forward to World War II as reenactors representing soldiers from the 1st Infantry Division assault an enemy bunker, demonstrating American infantry tactics of the 1940s. This will be followed by a retreat ceremony as the garrison retires the colors. The event also includes extensive special exhibits of World War II and Korean War military vehicles, period camps from the 17th through 20th centuries, camp cooking demonstrations, women in the military, and the home front during World War II. Sounds like a must go to. All right. We're going this way. Lewiston Porter Board of Education has its first student representative, Caitlin Zaradjeko. A Lewiston Porter High School senior recently became the first student representative on the district's Board of Education. Caitlin Zaradjeko is serving as an ex officio member of the Lewiston Porter School Board. This senior has served as president for her school's student council, the Lancer Council, and has been a member of both Lew-Port's volleyball and track teams, along with Spanish Club and Key Club. Caitlin has also contributed photography to the school's yearbook. It seems like a really great opportunity to step up my skills in a governmental type position and really get to be that person that the students can go to for help and talk to me kind of just about different things in school, Caitlin said. Last year, the Governor Kathy Hochul's budget encouraged New York districts to add student representative to school boards of education. This position allows students to serve as additional communication between their peers and the board. Paul Casseri, superintendent of the Newport District, spoke with high school principal Christopher Dana about a plan to add a student to the board. From there, Dana worked with the student council and Lori Hartgam, the administrator of the clubs, to select a student who fit the role. Caitlin was chosen for the primary role, while junior Zoe Drogmeyer was selected as an alternative. Zoe works with Caitlin and steps in when Caitlin can't attend a board meeting. I've known Caitlin for years, beginning when I coached her as she played second base on the Newport softball team. School board president Joseph Polarny said, "Even then, I knew she was a special young woman, smart, polite, and a natural leader." Even though Caitlin can't vote on major issues, she is still able to discuss the topics that are being voted on by the board. With the information she gathers, she shares it with her peers and gets the students' perspective on it. She then shares that perspective with the board. She does a presentation each month, Casseri said. She and Lori either will meet with me a couple days prior just to go over it. They always email it to me just so we're on the same page. Along with Casseri and Palermo, Caitlin has also noticed a change in the student body. As a result, she hopes that students will share more ideas with the next ex officio member. We talked about how there was a problem with parents in the parking lot, and they weren't going to the correct spots, Caitlin said. And we were able to go from the students, go to me, and relay it to the board. I know that we've had a lot of improvement with that. With the new phone policy implemented, it has been a difficult adjustment for Lewiston Porter High School. The major concerns from the board were whether the students would rebel. Dana reported to the board, and the adjustment had been positive. However, the board was only hearing the feedback from a principal's perspective. She's, Caitlin, right in the mix, Palermo said. So that's just one example of why it's important to have the student body insight. Casseri was open to the idea of having a student on the board, and when it was implemented by the state, he fully supported the proposal. This was a total positive win-win, Casseri said. In fact, it was exciting to implement. The board was super excited about it. Orleans, Niagara, BOCES, and the Erie County School Boards Association provided training for students chosen for the role. Casseri and a board member attended training in Alma and with Caitlin earlier in the process. Caitlin has taken this role seriously, implementing the necessary steps for this role to continue, to be successful, even after she graduates from high school. The role is really flexible, so you can do a lot of different things with it, Caitlin said. I hope that she's, Zoe, able to see what I've done, and we've been able to communicate about different things, and she's able to continue that. Caitlin said she appreciates the support from Hertgrum and the board as she adjusts to the role. She has noticed the role has strengthened her skills in prioritizing and time management as well. Caitlin recently committed to Clemson University, where she will study engineering. She is thrilled about her decision and hopes to use the skills she acquired at Lewiston Porter toward the numerous clubs the university provides. Paint the Town Purple. Upcoming Relay for Life. Town Commons tree trunks boasted new purple ribbons on May 9th. Paint the Town Purple is a Relay for Life event that is held just a few weeks prior to the main event to draw awareness to all types of cancer and the hope for a cure. Paint the Town Purple Saturday was a great day, said Lynn Marston, Dingy, Relay for Life co-chair. I love the whole idea of Paint the Town Purple. A cancer survivor's journey is not easy. Painting the town purple is just our way of showing them the community's support. We decorated the town commons with purple ribbons to offer a symbol of hope to cancer survivors, and then set up to sell donuts and purple bows to raise some much-needed funds to support cancer survivors on their journey through Relay for Life. She sold 135 dozen donuts, so I'm going to assume there were a lot of moms that were happy to have Krispy Kreme donuts on Mother's Day. Relay for Life will start at 3 p.m. Oh, that's already been concluded. That's all done. All proceeds from, we kick off the day with a Kevin Doring Memorial Walk at 10 a.m., along with our car, truck, bike show, Dingy said. Once the walk is done, we start testing lawnmowers, with the lawnmower races officially starting at noon, with a kids' race, mower provided, no registration fee. Registration for all events started at 9 a.m. The Grand Moose Lodge will be selling hot dogs. Look for Boy Scouts collecting tattered flags for a flag burning, a flag quilt raffle, face painting, photo booth fun, and a grab bag raffle. All proceeds from the day will be donated to Relay for Life. You are listening to a reading of articles and features from the Tribune Sentinel, covering Niagara County and Grand Island on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Okay. That's gone by. It's Moose Riders Bike and Rodeo and Safety Day. Bike Rodeo and Safety Day. It's time to get ready for a summer of safe hiking, biking. Grand Island Moose Lodge and Women of the Moose are sponsoring a bike rodeo and safety day on Saturday, May 30th at the Grand Island Town Hall parking lot. This free event runs from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and is open to the public. All who ride bikes, both regular and e-bikes, are invited. Bring your bike and helmet. Grand Island Police will be conducting bike and helmet safety checks, guiding young riders in a bike rodeo obstacle course designed to teach safety skills and providing updates on e-bike laws. Additionally, officers will be available to conduct child car seat checks to ensure proper installation and to register children for child ID. For more information, see our Facebook event page or email chapter 1922 at mooseunits.org. That's passed. That's this Saturday. A walking tour of Ferry Village will be offered at 10 a.m. on Saturday, May 23rd. The charge is $10. Meet at the parking lot by the hot dog stand at East River and Ferry Roads. For reservations, call Sharon at 716-773-2421. And then we have a review of the library. Toddler Times with Miss Stephanie on Saturday, that'll be the 23rd. The times to be announced. Electric vehicles, Saturday, 23rd. Program offered in 2 sessions. Part 1 is retired engineer Bill Brandoni. He'll discuss his research into EVs before purchasing one and his experiences since the purchase. Discussed will be the pros and cons of EVs, charging options, myths and facts. Questions and comments are welcome. In part 2, Brandoni continues his discussion, focusing on EV chargers and his experiences. Topics will include the best chargers, installation, tips and problems and solutions. Registration is required for sessions. For more information, call 716-773-7124. Itty Bitty Lap Set and Story Time with Miss Stephanie is 10 to 10:30 on Thursday, May 21st. I think maybe we missed it. Yep, sorry. Sprouts with Miss Melissa, 10 to 10:30, Tuesday, May 26th, for ages 0 to 5 with a caregiver. Join Miss Melissa in helping your little one learn and grow through music. Registration is required and space is limited. Call 716-773-7124 to reserve a spot. Grand Island Book Club runs from 1 to 3 p.m. on Wednesday, May 27th. The featured books are There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafik and Horse by Geraldine Books. All are welcome. Evenings are 6 p.m. and on June 9th. Featured books are The Friends by Frederick Backman and Frozen River by Ariel Laban. Physical copies of the books will be available to borrow. Call the library at 716-773-7124 for more information. Rotary Club of Grand Island sets Document Destruction Day it's the Rotary Club of Grand Island will again present its annual document destruction event. This year, the occasion is set for 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, June 6th, at a new location, the Sydney School parking lot. There is a drive-through in-vehicle service, and patrons can watch the confidential destruction of their papers. The cost is $10 per box, approximately 12 by 16 by 10 inches, and $30 or $20 for double banker's box. Please follow guidelines for secure document destruction by removing metal and plastic binders. Staples and paper clips will be accepted. Only paper items accepted for curbside recycling are allowed. If you have more than 6 large boxes, call 716-773-7265. The funds raised at this event will be used by the Rotary Club for various community causes. Co-sponsors for this event are Christine Learman, CPA, PC, and Madison Tile Company, 1. For more information, visit www.grandislandrotaryclub.org or on Facebook. And then we have an article on the election to come up. Meet Frederick Rick Stortecki. Since September of 2023, I have had the honor and privilege of serving the village in my capacity as deputy mayor and budget officer. During this time, my primary objectives have been to do more with less, a novel idea in today's politics, and fix what was broken. During my time as budget officer, I was responsible for overseeing a budget that did not increase the village tax rate for the third consecutive year. The village of Youngstown has the lowest tax rate of any village in Niagara County. Prior to Mayor Reisman's appointing me as budget officer, the budget had been drafted by the village clerk. The budget lacked transparency. It also lacked insight from our department heads. As part of my budget process, I personally meet with each department head to discuss the needs and wants of each department. I then meet with the entire office to finalize the tentative budget. I am committed to not increasing village property taxes. With the new tax assessments, next year's budget will need to be adjusted to address the dramatic changes to how our properties are now assessed. When I joined the board, our village investment policy still had Marine Midland Bank listed as our primary bank. It was obvious that it had not been revised in decades. With assistance of Treasurer Kim Winning and Village Attorney Christopher Trapp, we now have an updated compliant version that will be voted on imminently. However, during the last 3 years, our current board has been much more proactive in prudently handling village funds. Since the time I joined the board to our present day, our NYC New York class accounts, public sector savings accounts, have increased to $611,000 from $611,000 to over $2,600,000. These additional reserves can be used for current and future infrastructure projects that have been neglected for decades. Additionally, by handling our finances prudently, we have increased our interest income by over 400%. This is quite an article. I think we will go on to something else. Oh, here we have another. Stella seeks re-election to the Youngs Board town. Reisman, progress that lasts in Youngstown. Okay, from Catherine Stella. I am Catherine Stella, and I am running for re-election as your village trustee. I've been a resident of the village of Youngstown for 30 years and raised my family here. My children attended the schools, and it has always been my belief that serving the community is an honor and a privilege. She has had a lifetime of community service. The Youngstown Business Professional Association, board member and liaison to Upper Niagara Chamber of Commerce, the Lewiston Lions, she was a past president, Youngstown Library, past board of directors member, Youngstown Presbyterian Church, youth organizations, leadership roles in both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, past member of the PTA. Proven results for our village. In my current terms, I have worked to solve long-standing problems with creative and fiscally responsible solutions. The cold storage solution resolved the decades-old problem of the derelict building by finding a developer for new condominiums, restoring it to the tax rolls at no cost to taxpayers. Water tower revenue. Second, secured the property and right of way for the water tower in perpetuity, creating thousands of dollars in monthly income via wireless carrier contracts. Greenway grant success, secured funding to connect the bike path from Lewiston to Youngstown at no local tax increase. Faulkner Park modernized the splash pad for our families and youth. Expanded services.
The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability.